They laughed at him, not because of his jokes, but because they thought he was too short to make it big. What if I told you that same man became one of the biggest stars in Hollywood? Before we dive in, hit that like button and subscribe to The Ascent, where real stories create real impact. Kevin Hart was born and raised in Philadelphia, a city of grit, determination, and dreams. From the very start, he faced odds that seemed insurmountable. Too short, too small, too unrealistic of a dream. Every time he stepped up to audition, the answer was almost always the same: no. Every stage he dared to stand on was a risk. Every joke was a gamble. To the world, the odds were written in bold letters against him, and the doors to success seemed locked tight. But there was something about Kevin that the world couldn't see: an unbreakable spirit, and a fire that refused to go out. Growing up, Kevin's life was far from glamorous. His parents separated when he was young, and his mother, Nancy Hart, worked tirelessly to keep the family afloat. Kevin learned resilience early, watching his mother's determination and drawing strength from every setback. School was no safe haven. Even there, he was the butt of jokes, not for his humor, but for his stature. Yet instead of shrinking into the shadows, he found comfort in laughter. Comedy became his shield, his way to flip pain into punchlines. As a teenager, Kevin started testing his courage at local comedy clubs. The spotlight was harsh and unforgiving. His first performances were met with silence, sometimes even boos. The audience was tough, and their laughter was earned, not given. He bombed on stage, night after night. Casting directors would shake their heads, slamming the door shut before he even had a chance to prove himself. Rejection became his companion, but not his master. Each no fueled his determination. He studied the greats: Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Chris Rock, breaking down their style, timing, and delivery. Kevin wasn't just chasing laughs. He was building a foundation, one brick at a time. The journey was long, and the climb was steep. Every day was a fight to be seen, to be heard, to be taken seriously. He worked jobs to support his dream, hustling by day and performing by night. He stood in front of flickering club signs, microphone in hand, sweat on his brow, ready to face yet another crowd that might not appreciate his craft. But quitting was never an option. Kevin knew that every moment on stage, no matter how tough, was a step forward. He started to refine his act, learning to read the crowd, adjusting his timing, and finding his own voice. The small victories, one person laughing, a handshake after the show, a nod from a fellow comedian, became fuel for his journey. Slowly, the tides began to turn. People started to take notice. Comedy clubs booked him more often. He was no longer just the short kid with big dreams. He was the rising star with unstoppable energy. With momentum on his side, Kevin took bigger risks. He moved from Philadelphia's tight-knit comedy circuit to the bright lights of New York and Los Angeles. The rejection didn't stop, but neither did he. He auditioned for television, for movies, for every opportunity that came his way. Sometimes, he'd walk away with nothing but bruised pride, but his resolve only grew stronger. Behind the scenes, he was relentless, practicing, refining, and building his confidence. Then the breakthrough came. Kevin landed a few small roles in television and movies, each one a stepping stone. He brought a unique energy to every character, a blend of vulnerability and humor that felt real and relatable. His comedy specials began to gain traction, attracting fans from all walks of life. He didn't just make people laugh, he made them feel. Kevin's story was about more than jokes. It was about perseverance, about heart, and about turning adversity into triumph. Soon, the comedy clubs couldn't contain him. He was selling out theaters, then arenas, and eventually stadiums. His Netflix specials became cultural touchstones, watched by millions around the world. Hollywood noticed. Kevin Hart was no longer just a stand-up comedian. He was a box office star, headlining blockbuster movies and walking the red carpet with the world's biggest names. The same people who once laughed at his dreams now cheered for his success. But for Kevin, the journey was never just about fame or fortune. He used his platform to inspire others, sharing his story openly, his struggles, his failures, and his victories. He built a brand around authenticity, showing that success isn't measured by height, but by heart. He launched businesses, wrote books, and created opportunities for new comedians, always remembering where he came from. Today, Kevin Hart stands in front of sold-out stadiums, the roar of the crowd echoing his journey. He's proof that dreams don't come with limits, and that the world's doubts are just fuel for those brave enough to chase their passion. From the tiny clubs of Philadelphia to the global stage, Kevin's story is a testament to the power of perseverance, self-belief, and the magic of laughter. If Kevin Hart's story inspired you, share this video with someone who needs a push today. And remember, this is The Ascent, real stories, real impact. He showed us that legends aren't born, they're made. Not by luck, not by privilege, but by relentless effort, unwavering belief, and a refusal to let the world define your worth. When you see him now, standing tall under the spotlight, remember the years of struggle, the countless setbacks, and the nights spent dreaming of something bigger. Remember that every laugh, every cheer, every success began with a risk, a leap of faith into the unknown. Let Kevin Hart's journey be a reminder. Whatever your dream, whatever your obstacles, you have the power to rise. It's not about where you start or what others say, it's about how you finish. So take your shot, face your fears, and write your own legend. Because in the end, the only thing standing between you and greatness is the courage to keep going. This is The Ascent, real stories, real impact.